Oompa loompa doopity doo. I have another puzzle for you. You oompa loompa doopity dee dee. If you were wise, you'll listen to me. What do you get when you guzzle down sweets? Sweets, eating as much as an elephant eats. Eat. What are you at? Getting terribly fat. What do you think will come of that? That I don't like the looks of this. Oompa loompa doopity doo. Shout out to the Loop. What a hard song for freaking, what is it, Willy Wonka? Shout out to Willy Wonka. Rest in peace, Gene Wilder. Welcome back to this podcast, One Man, One Tree in a Hill. It's a podcast about being alone with your own thoughts, and we're not alone with our own thoughts. We make time capsules with the most amazing people on the planet that I met. And when we're not doing that, ladies and gentlemen, we review the great show of One Man, One Tree One Tree Hill, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, two-time wrestling champion, stand-up comedian, Jared Waters, and we'd like to introduce our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. This podcast is sponsored by Old Hillside Bourbon Company. Now, Old Hillside Bourbon Company, ladies and gentlemen, is a company created out of love for bourbon. Bourbon is a type of alcohol, friendship, camaraderie, and the idea of quality time, great conversation, enjoying good spirits brought this team together. Our vision is fueled by optimism, integrity, and a sense of responsibility to build a successful house of bourbon brand that people can cherish and love. Our story is unique. We're all a collective group of individuals from different career backgrounds. This is our strength as we're able to apply our professional experiences to provide an unmatched service to our customers. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our sponsors, Old Hillside Bourbon Company. And I don't even drink, but I'll take a shot of this, ladies and gentlemen. All right, back to we're in a freaking blizzard, ladies and gentlemen. New York City, we're in a blizzard, and if you're in the southern states, you're not in the blizzard, and wherever you listen to in the world, you're probably not in the blizzard. We realize we have a big Arabic. I wouldn't say Arabic. I say Mediterranean, yeah, a fan base out there. A lot of people listen to the podcast out there. We got Libya, and you guys probably don't know, but inside New York City, we're inside a blizzard. Snow's all over the ground, 24 inches of snow, and it's that type of snow that after it snows, it's that water all over, so there's a lot of flooding. Not as much flooding, but it's like that. And also, New York City is now in, I don't even know what it's called, but we are now opening our restaurants back up to 25% capacity on Valentine's Day. And you know that's a freaking money grab because you know people got to spend money on Valentine's Day. But that's what's happening in New York City. The Governor Cuomo has slowly opened up the city, which is good because a lot of people are freezing, but the virus is still out there. So please wear your mask, get vaccinated if you believe in that. If not, have O positive blood. And if you don't have O positive blood, stay inside, ladies and gentlemen. Or when you stay outside, cover yourself. But I am not a doctor at all. Let's go shout out to the birthdays. We want to shout out to our friend Alona Smiling, ladies and gentlemen. She's 49. We want to shout out to her. It's her birthday. Shout out to my homie Desiree Colbert, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me, darling. You got to make sure you got to take out the maiden names. Desiree Darling, it's her birthday. And my boy Carlos Lopez. It's so dope seeing people that you grew up together with just doing dope stuff, man. Freaking D, she's in the military doing her freaking thing. It's so inspiring just seeing people just exploring the world, seeing life through their eyes. I can't wait to get them on the podcast. Carlito, me and this fool go back. Dang, we go back a while, man. I think last time I was like, every birthday we call each other, and during Christmas we call each other on the holidays. We probably miss each other's calls, but we look forward to hearing each other's voicemails and stuff. And I met Carlos, I think when I was 11 years old or 12. I think I was 12 years old. And I remember his stepdad, Donnie, he said, "Carlos, son, I'll get the Buckaroo Bell. Do you think I'm playing, son? This is really a Buckaroo Bell." And a lot of wild adventures. I wasn't even a basketball player playing basketball and all this stuff like that. And we've remained friends. And seeing him as a father and a husband is really inspiring. Seeing how he loves his kids and stuff like that. He has twin boys and he has a daughter. And seeing him and his wife and stuff like that. It's very inspiring for me. You know, I don't have any kids yet. But when I do populate the earth, I pray that I have twins. I pray that I have just a bunch of kids. A bunch. I'm talking Joe Jackson type. But happy birthday to these two people, wonderful people. Happy birthday to Alona. Sadder news. Last week, you know, sometimes sadder news, rest in peace to the homie Amy Lopez. Her grandmother passed away. And I found it unique. She wrote this status, and I know this podcast is about being alone with your own thoughts, but I'm really inspired by other people's statuses. What she wrote, she's talking about her grandmother passing away, and I'm gonna read it. She goes, "I used to get upset and even high when my dad would take out pictures. After pictures, I was in Honduras these past days because of the root of our tree. My grandmother was called into heaven. Looking through so many photos and videos, I can only be thankful. We all shared them, and we all laughed, and we all cried together. It was excuse me. Let me stop reading. It was an unexplainable relief to take millions of pictures and have videos regardless of the attitudes, because now that I'm a parent, I see why. Thank you for the beautiful memories to my family. I love you all so much. Mommy is in a better place now. Grief is real, but with a village by your side, grief becomes a moment of laughter right after tears." That's amazing, man. And that's why I'm inspired by that, because it's just like I record everything, and I know people get upset with me, like, "Jared, put down your camera." But I'm like, these are moments that we're making for life, man. Think of all those pictures she has with her grandmother to show her son and be like, "This is your grandmother." And I think, pretty sure her son's like, I don't know how old her son is, but I'm pretty sure there's pictures of her and her son together, recording her and her son. And it's amazing seeing her as a mom, just loving her boy, man. So prayers up to them, what they're going through. Also, news in the world. Jeff Bezos just stepped down from Amazon as a CEO and became an executive chair. Something probably has to happen, right? When CEOs step down, either he's about to get in trouble, he either hit somebody, he probably did something corrupt, but he's not even the richest man in the world. Elon Musk is. So we'll see what's happening with what company is it? I got producers here. Oh, Amazon. Now we got now we're inside a studio right now. We're in a studio. We freaking mustered all our way inside this cold ice. We're inside a studio, and they're just feeding me important information. So that's what we're doing. That a lot of people ask me, what do I think about GameStop? A lot of emails about GameStop. I'm gonna be honest. I have a dude that does, like, we do stocks and stuff like that. But I am a pirate, meaning that I'm a part of, like, the Reddit community where we illegally download stuff and they leak things, and like, I knew about Star Wars before it happened. We were inside this community where they leaked the movie, they leaked the scripts, and I don't know, I am that type of guy that just, like, I like spoilers. Like, I like knowing things already. Even if I know what's going on, I'll still be shocked watching it. But I was the type of dude that'd plan my own birthday party to be, and then still act like, "Oh my God, you guys came for me. Oh my God, this is so sweet." But I love, like, stuff like that. So, like, I got really plugged into the community in college. This African dude I went to college with, I can't name his name, but he got me into, like, this black market world of just, like, cyber stuff. And I'm not as good as everybody else, but I know how to move around it. And he showed me, and I remember he said, "Whatever you do, don't make a profit out of it. Just do it for your own personal use." So a lot of these guys would, like, exchange different games and stuff like that. But then my boy, he showed my boy how to do it, and then my boy got a call from the FBI because he made a freaking store and was selling DVDs and everything else. This is like 2009, 10. He was selling. I can't. I don't even know if it's implementing them, but he was doing some wild stuff. And they're like, "You know what? Come on back." And they did a copyright infringement, but he had to cough all that stuff up. But yeah, I got into that world, and I'm in the community, but I really didn't know. I understood. I understood what they were saying, but I was like, the stock market is risky. But that was a smart move. To shout out to these Reddit users. I love these amateur things. I love it when the power goes back to the people. I love that. I love when the people can determine what they want, right? For example, this woman. This woman's name's Amy Cooper. Now, hold on. That's the Amy Cooper is the Karen that was telling people for the black dude bird watching. Sarah Cooper. I've been talking to her a lot. Sarah Cooper, I used to see her in New York City, right? And this was maybe 5 years ago, doing shows and stuff like that. And, still beating the pavement, seeing her around, stuff like that. We would just fist pump high and by and watching and literally taking the people really gravitate towards her TikTok videos. And she didn't know it was going to blow up like she did. She just started one thing and everybody wanted more. And the crazy thing about her TikTok video, she impersonates former President Trump. That's only a smidget of her talent. Like, that's how talented she is, right? But she took this small talent, right? This she was making fun or whatever. We haven't really spoke like that. She's definitely super busy or whatever. But think about that. And went to the people, and now the people decided, like, we want more of Sarah Cooper. got a book deal, got a show coming out, and just being prepared for that moment. So I don't know why I brought that up. Oh, yeah, that's why I brought it up. Oh, how the Reddit people have taken when the power goes back to the people. So hopefully then they shut down Robinhood and shut down these apps. And you know what? Things change, and I think it has to happen. Sometimes F these hedge funds, unless I get one. But they lost $1 billion, but ain't no telling. You're betting on a company to fail. That's effed up. Oh, I forgot. Rest in peace to Screech. Man, a lot of deaths. Rest in peace to Screech, Dustin Diamond. I met Dustin Diamond in Orlando. He used to come to an open mic. Was it the other bar open mic? He didn't come, but he was a stand-up comic at the end. I'm not going to say bitter, but he didn't really, I guess he didn't like the way he was treated on Saved by the Bell. And it's cool seeing how him and AC Slater patched it up before they passed away. But yeah, that sucks. Like, being a child star, dying that early. That's super early to die. It's sad, especially cancer. Cancer is just ugh. Said he felt it in his whole body. I'm gonna read what they reported about. All right, so Dustin Diamond, best known for playing the lovable character Samuel Screech Powers, NBC sitcom Saved by the Bell, has died and declined last week. He has had stage 4 lung cancer. Golly, stage 4 lung cancer. Rest in peace. When some people when they make art that affects you. That's why I get why people are doing that. But sad to see him go. Cicely Tyson, the great Cicely Tyson, passed away. Holy, so many deaths. Jeez Louise, 2021. Cicely Tyson passed away. But for this one, it was more of a legacy. She was 96 years old. And when I say lived a full life. I want to read something that she said about getting paid. And this is an excerpt from her book. And if I encourage everyone to get her book. That's crazy. She waited till her 90s to put out her biography. And some people just put out their biography at 50 or 30. This is from her biography. Everyone's got a tale about Tyler Perry's generosity. But Cicely Tyson just might have everyone beat. These two black icons in black Hollywood have been friendly ever since her role in 2005, A Diary of a Mad Black Woman. In those years since, they built a friendship spanning 6 films, and when he heard about how little she was paid for Sonder and the autobiography of the Miss Jane Pittman, his mouth fell open. In that, she writes, she goes, from then on, he decided to double, quadruple, and triple my salary and my asking price for any role he requested that I play. He's making me rich and loved as well. Tyson is the grandmother of Perry's son, Amon. You should see that child and me down on the carpet together, holding hands, doing handstands with a nervous Tyler Perry standing behind us, making sure I don't crack my neck. What a joy it is to know Tyler Perry. I felt like that. Hearing stuff like that makes it amazing. I love when older people get that last lap around the basin being celebrated for the artwork that they've done. She's done. She was married to Miles Davis. Let's read a little bit of her auto. This is from W. Kwame Bao, a still fun of comedian. Emmy Tony Award-winning actress Cicely Tyson, who was distinguishing herself in theater, film, and television, has died last Thursday afternoon. She was 96. I've managed Miss Tyson's career for over 46 years, and each year was a privilege and a blessing. Larry Thompson. Cicely thought of her new memoir as a Christmas tree decorated with all the ornaments of her personal and professional life. Today, she has placed the last ornament, and the star on top of her tree is her life. Her memoir, Just As I Am, was published Tuesday. Tyson broke into movies in 1959 and Harry Belafonte's film Odds Against Tomorrow, followed by The Comedians and The Last Angry Man, A Man Called Adam, The Heart Is a Lonely, refusing to participate in the black exploitation movie. She became popular in the 1960s and the late 80s, and she waited until the 1972 to return back to the screen of Sonder, which captured several Oscar nominations, including one of Tyson's best roles as Best Actress. Tyson received the Oscar nomination in 1973 for Martin Ritt's Sounder and an honorary Oscar in 2018. Variety of reviewers of AD and Foods that... Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Here, blitzing through this. Here comes the most important part. Excuse me. In television, she nabbed a recurring roles of Black Adams, East Side, West Side, and the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. She was nominated for 16 times of her career. Best Supporting Actress in The Oldest Living Confederate Widow Tells It All. Wow, Confederate Widow. The actress became a household name thanks to her starring role in Miss Jane Pittman, the TV movie, which was a 110-year-old woman recalls her life required to portray her heroine over a 9-decade period. Writing about Miss Tyson's performance is amazing. Wow, they said she leaves behind. Oh, she leaves behind a daughter. Her daughter when she had a daughter when she was 17 years old. She was the godmother to Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz, having been friends with his mother Roxy Roker, as well as Denzel Washington's daughter Kataya and Tyler Perry's son Oman. Tyson was an honorary of Delta Sigma Theta, and her memoir, Just As I Am, was published. And wow, that's good. She said her final interview with Gail, she said, I've done my best, and that is all. That's amazing, man. That's amazing when people get that last lap around the base. And I think it's good that we're starting to do that. I hope people do that for George Wallace, Sinbad, as Sinbad has oh, he's not gonna die anytime soon, but I'm saying like when these old people that have entertained you for a long time, when they get that final lap, when they link up with the next generation of creators and they keep pushing it there, I think hope that happens. But rest in peace to all these wonderful people that passed away, man. Rest in peace to that. Shout out to Tyler Perry, man. Amazing that. Also want to say congratulations to my dog Tawanda Ghana. He just got a job writing for Showtime. He writes for not writing. He's the editor for Jesus and Meryl. That's dope. I think Jesus or Meryl. I think I met Meryl. Meryl was the black one. No, Jesus is the black dude. I met him, and I think I met him at the Eddie Murphy SNL party when we dapped it up. Really cool guy. He stood in held court for a minute. Really cool guy. Shout out to my dog Tawanda, just got a spot. And with this snowstorm, it's still snowing right now. Currently, it's Tuesday. It's Groundhog's Day, and the groundhog was just revealed that we got 6 more weeks of winter. I bind that up in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Hopefully, we don't have winter that long. But yeah, it was freaking Monday. All shows canceled. Freaking because we're outside, so shows are canceled. So I literally sat here, wrote, exercised at the house, did my Taibo workouts, and a lot of things were closed down. And then I watched the WWE Royal Rumble. That's the first time I watched wrestling in a long time. Shout out to this EST, this woman, EST woman, Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair won. She won the Royal Rumble. It's dope seeing just back in the day there were no black women in wrestling at all, and now there's like a whole bunch of them. Well, it's like 3 or 4, but that's still a lot. And then I watched her come through NXT. I just been just googling her. Let's listen to a little clip. This is when she made her debut, her crying, meeting Triple H. Here we go.
It's very quiet, so don't tell all these cameras and everything. But right after WrestleMania, you're gonna be starting on Monday Night Raw.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. It just took me back to that moment. I just put my makeup on, so I just needed something. I needed what's next for Bianca Belair. The words that Hunter said to me is validation.
If you love something, let it go.
I understand.
You'll come back now and then, which means you were always ours.
If you would have told me a year ago that I would be here now, I would cry. I would be happy. In that moment, it would make sense to me. I know my potential, and I know who I am.
So Bianca Belair started NXT. So if you don't know NXT, it's like the JV. It's the JV before you get to WWE. Triple H just took this task on. He's developing new talent. So all the new talent really much comes through him, and he develops the talent, and then they go up to the WWE, and then they make pretty much that. So these are like one of his students, I guess. And I was watching it, and I was like, man, who is this? Then I was like, man, she won. And it's dope just seeing women, because back when I watched wrestling, like women, they didn't really, it was just China, and that was it. China, Lita, and they didn't have like a divas. They called them WE divas. They didn't have just like a women's division, and they had a girly belt, like a butterfly belt. What? Just all sexist, but it's dope seeing them compete. Only I do miss when co-ed would be wrestling. Back in the day, China would be effing up people, but now you'll never see a dude wrestle a woman on TV. They're like, so I bet Vince McMahon gets so many letters. But, you got credit to Vince McMahon. He was one of the first companies that went all in on streaming. He was kind of ahead of his time to be like, there's no network that's really going to do it. So he went all in on streaming for his pay-per-views. So he developed the WWE network, and I just happened to be watching it. And then after that, we're sitting in a snowstorm. I watched this documentary about Yokozuna. Yokozuna, ladies and gentlemen. Yokozuna was a Samoan Samoan wrestler, but they called him Rodney. Rodney from the West Coast, and it was amazing watching him, but sad, so sad watching this documentary. How he got so big that he just kind of died. He was. They said the heaviest he ever got was 600 pounds. That is crazy, 600 pounds. So in the beginning, he was, he got big. He was like the 500 pound. He was light and he could move and stuff like that. And he was this big, larger than life draw. And then they said he kept eating. He got slower. And they pretty much said, like, if you don't, they put him on a diet. If you don't go to a diet, then you're pretty much going to die. And he didn't want to go on the diet. So WD, they cut him. And then he started doing independent wrestling and stuff like that. And then people said, like, he let down his family. And then when you think about the Samoan legacy, there's so many great Samoan wrestlers. And this is how he is it Afa and I'm pretty sure Sika. Yeah, Sika yeah. So Afa and Sika are pretty much the Wild Samoans. The Wild Samoan, and they're like it's a wrestling family. So they're all related. The Rock, Rikishi and Yokozuna came up together. Rikishi, the Uso brothers, the what's my buddy's name? Roman Reigns. They're all like Polynesian wrestlers. So this big wrestling tree. So I watched that. That was dope. And I know you guys are probably thinking, like, how the freak is he watching all this stuff and not reviewing One Tree Hill episodes? But I just recently got a Hulu password again. I forgot mine. I forgot it, so I hit the recovery button. So now we got the Hulu, the Hulu password. I promised to Moses I'm gonna review it this week because it's snowing, so I'll do it. Oh, and the reason why is because after I did that, I watched this Finding Ohana. Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. Lilo and Stitch. But it was a movie called Finding Ohana about these pretty much Hawaii. Turns out I was saying Hawaii wrong. It's not Hawaii, it's Hawaii. That's how the natives say it. Shout out to AD. She lives in Hawaii. GOO. He came up in a lot of people love Hawaii. Freak, I think I might go to summer for a little bit. I haven't thought about it yet. But yeah, watch this. It was cool. It's like a Journey to the Sun. Acting was bad, really bad. Really bad, but I get what they're trying to do to promote, more inclusive, having more diverse characters of people, Hawaiian actors and stuff like that. A lot of these people were of Polynesian descent, which is cool. And this past week of stand up has been good. A lot of Zoom shows, I did like 4 Zoom shows back to back to back. It was actually really good because I agreed to do the show. And sometimes when I do shows, I look at, because one of my friends, she goes, I went to the Zoom show and checked you out. I'm like, why would you pay money? You know what I mean? But I do this show, and I'm not particularly happy about what the pricing is. And next, afterwards, because I'm like counting up ticket sales and I'm dividing everything else. I'm like, wow. The next, they're like, well, we're gonna boost it up. I said, well, yeah, we definitely should have been boosted this up. Did that, and then we're coming back. It was Wednesday. Wednesday we do training day, and it's freezing. It's freaking freezing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's I think it's 20 degrees out there. 20 degrees in the park. And me and Matthew were just like, F, we'll push through, but we got a lot of people. This new girl, her name is Samantha Santos, has a nice following on TikTok, but it was her first time ever doing stand-up. And I always support somebody's first time doing it. I can't encourage anybody to do it, but if you want to do it, I'll always give somebody a shot, because I got a shot. Somebody gave me a shot when I was young and everything else. And watching her, get through her set, being comfortable and stuff like that, I was like, proud person, but I try not to linger over anybody as they do that. So that was Wednesday night. Tuesday, another Zoom show called Chirpin' Bird. And then Thursday, which was that? Thursday, I went to the Tiny Cupboard, and it was every freaking show was freaking closed because it was too cold. People were just closing down shows. And then Arrogant Swine, I was on that show. That venue's completely canceled. So what's happening is, if you're not out of these places by 10 o'clock, Governor Cuomo has like these little snitches or allegiance, and they're just shutting down events. So what happened is, really, the snitches are really comedians. A lot of comedians inside this community are not happy with either the booking or anything else, so they're just reporting shows. And If you're not out by 10 o'clock, I guess they went over a minute early, boom, shut it down. They shut down till April. Same thing that happened to me at this ice cream show that I did. So Thursday, I just had to do another Zoom. And then Friday night, I went to Joey Bass to support my Kate Robarts, my dude, Kate Robarts. She's from Texas, Texas gal. And every time we see each other, it's always just good peace and many blessings. And I remember I hit her up because I didn't know she was like during the pandemic when we were like early getting started. I was like, would you come do our show? She goes, this is the show I first did in this pandemic. I was like, dude, we would love to have you there. So she comes when we did that show. And then I go to her show just to support it. So I'm going to hit that show, then go to Ronnie's show, Ronnie Lordi's show. And I want to go to the show because my friend Zuby is on the show. And I'm going to get Zuby on the podcast. Zuby has a very unique way she sees life. She's 31. And we're talking about being up in a family, about how sometimes trauma can come from your family. And we have these always deep, long conversations. And it was funny because after the show, we went to another show, and her ex-boyfriend's at the show. And I was like, how do you know that's your ex-boyfriend? She goes, I promise, I just dated him. I was like, when? October. I was like, yeah, that was not too long ago. And he's there with his new girl. And she goes, oh, I'm happy for him. But he's like looking over at her. And I'm like, oh, you're dead serious. She goes, yeah, I'm freaking dead serious. So it's definitely, she's Muslim. So it's good seeing her perspective growing up Muslim. And she is from Bangladesh. And Bengali. She's not no Bangladesh. She's from Bengali. Excuse me. Yeah, I said it right. She's from Bangladesh, ladies and gentlemen. Bangladesh. And they're called Bengali people. Right? And Usama is a stand-up comic who recently did America's Got Talent. He broke it down to me about how it's split and everything else. And I've definitely got to get them to speak more about their country because I'm not going to butcher the information the way they can. But we've always been like really good friends, and it's dope seeing her on stage. So Kate goes, oh, this next comic doesn't know he's going up there. Give it up for Jared Waters. I'm like, oh, what the freak? I didn't even know I was, hey, whoa, what's up? So to do that. And I pretty much took the bullet because people were walking through the show and everything else. And that was good. So we go to Ronnie's show, talking to Ronnie. Then Saturday, we cancel our show in Astoria Park, and we go to Make It Clap because our friend Kenise Mobley, she's recording. Oh, freak, I can't explain. Oh, let me cut that out. Our friend is recording. She's recording something special, right? Recording something special. So I wanted to support that and, support, the comedy. It's the comedy scene. So we postponed the show. And we go there, and then after that, I have to do 3-4 shows back to back. So all through Zoom, boom, 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 boom. Then Sunday, boom, boom, another Zoom show. So it's just like, it's easy stand up. To do anything, doing online, doing at your house is completely easy. But I'm a wild animal, so I got to be in the wild. I love being outside. I love, when you're working through Zoom, it's just being inside your house is a lot, So I love being outside. So that was what was going on. And it was just dope talking to comedians. One of my comedian friends has told me he's going to be in a Super Bowl commercial. So it's amazing. And I was reading this book that said instead of making your year goals, you should make monthly goals. So I've been doing that monthly goals, making sure each day I'm accomplishing what I want to do, making sure I'm writing enough, making sure that I'm editing and resubmitting pilots and resubmitting this. So I got a lot of feedback about this pilot I submitted. And, some feedback back and forth about that. But that's it. That's pretty much the freaking week. A lot of babbling, but, it's freaking my podcast. That's not even how I laugh. But, that's the podcast, One Man, One Tree Hill. Coming up, we got the One Tree Hill episodes. We got a lot of episodes with some of my coworkers. This one's name's Alia Trim. We got one with Zoe Piazak. We got one with some more Yakotaites. We got them on the podcast coming through. My dude Joe Stroud got on the podcast. So we got a lot of episodes dropping. So we'll be dropping that next Tuesday. There'll be the Time Capsule Tuesday. And Friday we'll be dropping the One Tree Hill episode. And this email that I keep reading is asking me to read this book. And I wrote, it's not my book, but it's called Please Mr. Pig. It's a tongue twister. And she goes, would you mind reading it? And she wants to use my voice and put it up there. I was like, F it, we'll do it. Send some books. We'll read them live on the podcast. We got freaking nothing but time. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the podcast One Man, One Tree in the Hills, a podcast about being alone with your own thoughts. And clearly, I'm alone with my own thoughts in the middle of a snowstorm, in the middle of this freaking cold studio, and I'm dreading walking out in this freaking snow to get back to my home. But you know what? That's the world that we live in. Peace and many blessings. Spread love if you can. And if you can't spread love, go to church. And if you're not Christian, go to the mosque. And if you're not Muslim, I don't know. All right. Hey, you're live on the podcast, One Man, One Tree in the Hill. Say what up to the people. This is when I see black excellence, man. It's Dave Chappelle, Michael Che, Lauren Michaels, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, all sitting at the table. I said, yo, Eddie, Mr. Murphy, I just want to say, man, you the GOAT, man. And you the coldest nigga that ever walked the face of the earth. You gotta break that thing over. She wants it private, but y'all not even together right now.
So we haven't spoken about anything but the cat for at least 2 months.
And then I said, and I'm be the next Jamar Neighbors. Yeah. And she was up like, I know that's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the podcast. My name is Jared Waters, and I'll catch you next time. Like, subscribe, rate the podcast. Have a wonderful night, wonderful day, whatever you're listening to. I'll see you soon.